By the way, Earl must have been the weirdest baby name of all time. Like Earl is a fine name for an adult, but a baby? Hello, Earl. What's Earl doing?
And it's not short for anything, right? It's just Earl.
Why would you even say that?
I sometimes
yes,
don't
it's
know.
short for Earliette. Was
His
that
full
weird
name is
though for a little
Erlingham.
kid to be Earl?
Yeah, because it's mainly because it's such a southern name. And
It's
here
like
we
a
are,
southern old man.
and it's obviously we're up north and have a
Southern man better. Well, I would have thought Earl was old British.
well that too, but Earl's like a pretty common southern name too.
Earl, get over here, would you? And help me with these buckets of water. A whole backyard is brown as hell, Earl. Get out there. Earl, have you seen my Confederate flag? I wanted to put it up today to celebrate Mississippi and its beautiful racist senator. Vito's
Gail
a
is
kind of an
also-
odd baby name.
Yeah.
Baby Vito is funny.
Baby Vito's funny, like, because it's like a little Italian name, a little
Are
Italian
you Vincent, though?
No, Vito. I'm named after the Godfather, and
But he was Vincent.
They didn't care when they were naming me, and it was either Vito or another Godfather name. It was going to be Santino, and my nickname would have been Sonny. And I always get mad at my mom that she didn't go with that.
Either one is great. To be called Santino
or Sonny, and then I feel like my life would have been so much better in
Can you
general.
imagine if
I know it would be.
his name was Sonny?
Could you imagine how much thinner you'd be if you were a Santino?
Yeah, I think about that constantly. It's just every fucking Vito's fat, and I grew into my name.
There's
You'd
no
have been
way.
the first fat Sonny.
Sonny eats a lot.
Because Big Vito just sounds like that's what
That's
it should
it.
be.
There's no
It's
tiny
always Big
Vitos.
Vito.
No.
Yeah.
But if you were Sonny, thank you for the time you gave me yesterday.
Santino Calisi is a beautiful name. Better than Vito Calisi.
I agree with you. Santino Calisi, it sounds like you're not even American.
Yeah.
I know.
Fucking
it is
fantastic.
I'd probably be thin, tan.
You'd probably be one of those guys that goes diving but without the tank. Those guys in the Mount Green, like holding onto a weight. They go down a mile.
I think that not only would you be married at this point, you'd also have a lover.
I'll say this. I think if you're Santino, you're not even hairy. You're a very thin,
Oh, yeah.
Man,
fucking
sleek.
Italian deep undersea diver.
He's like a seal, like a wet seal.
Oh my God, this beautiful me.
Would you have been anything else, Earl? Was there a backup name for you?
I was almost a William because my grandfather on my father's side had just passed away. He passed away a month before I was born.
Would you think you would have been a William or a Billy?
I've
Or
probably been a
Willie?
William because I have an uncle William, and he's never.
I'll tell you this: William Douglas.
That's
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
But
distinguished.
but let
the
me
thing
say
with-
that Bill Douglas is everybody's friend.
Bill Douglas.
The problem with William too is that like you can say your name is William, but people are going to call you what they're going to call you. They're going to call you Will, Willie, Bill, Billy. That's what they're going to go with. Nobody's going to take the time to say William.
Yeah, they always go with the surname.
I'm sure your nickname would have been Earl.
You seem like an Earl to me.
Now, what about you?
I also was almost William. My dad wanted to call me William, but my mom was like, no, we're going to call him Christopher. Because his father was William, so and his middle name was William, so now my middle name is William.
I can see Earl as a Billy. I don't see you as a Billy, though.
I feel like I'd be a Will.
Will.
Will Stanley. And that's good. Will Stanley. Will Stanley do it.
Will Stanley die young?
I'm suddenly just looking into this alternative universe that we would have Will, Bill, Will, Bill, and Sonny. It's the Bennington Show with Will, Bill, and Sonny.
You sound like the most white bread show in history. Will, go get Billy and Sonny. Now, Gail, are you aware of any of your almost names?
Yes, well, I do know that there was that my mom had liked Rose or Rosie. And when she brought it up to my grandmother, your mom, she was like, no, because I had a cousin that name, and I just, you can't do that to me. And she was like, oh, why was it so bad? Like, she was like an awful person or something. She goes, no, once she came to stay and she really outstayed her welcome. And it would really bother me.
That's you. Secondhand Rose.
That's the funniest thing. It's just like somebody who stayed too long. It's like, never. I hate that name.
Well, even with your name, since it's Gail Ann, I thought Annie would be the way to go. And when I look at you now, I'm still like, man, she'd be a perfect Annie. She has an Annie vibe about her.
But the problem with Annie is if you're Annie Bennington, too many N's.
I know. Well, I'm Ronnie Bennington. Try to fucking deal with that.
Believe me, I know.
I wasn't Ron until I started radio. I was always Ronnie. Anybody that I've ever met pre-radio would call me Ronnie.
See, but that's a good thing about your name is that, like, little Ronnie, baby Ronnie, and then you get to be Ron. You know what I mean? Like it grows with you.
Yeah, that's true.
Whereas Gail is clearly an elderly woman's name. And
even now, I don't know how many living Gails there are.
There are not many.
Yeah.
Anytime I meet someone, they always say to me, my grandmother was Gail. I have a great aunt, Gail. No one ever says my sister's name is Gail. Or
my niece, Gail.
No one.
And they always spell it wrong. And you never want to have a name that's spelled wrong.
I know, it's very difficult.
It makes me angry every time somebody spells her name wrong. There's no reason for that. Because they don't know a lot of
Because they make it more
Gails.
complex.
I never
they throw
thought
the Y in.
I never thought it was the other way. I always saw it. I don't
What
get
do you
when
consider
people
the other way?
GALE was the wrong
No,
way.
there
right?
is also the one with the Y in it.
Yeah, GAYLE.
Yes.
That's just crazy.
Yeah,
And that
that's
one
making
gets
it-
more than the other one.
Because GAIL just like that's the first way I think to spell it.
Yeah, well, you're correct.
You're correct. That's the right way to spell it. And
No.
now, strangely, I've done it to my own daughter. She's Juliet, and people will spell it with the ETTE, which is like a longer French way to spell it as opposed to the IET.
And plus, my Delco fucking thing fucks it up for people. They'll go, Joliet? I go, no, Joliet. Oh, Joliet. What the fuck is wrong with you? Like Romeo and Joliet. Now, I brought this up before. I should be a Joe. I should be a Joseph because I had to be christened that immediately because I was a dead baby. But I don't know why they didn't stick with it. And they're like, well, we like the RLV. I go, why? That's a fucking tradition that didn't exist. You just said it did because my dad and my brother had those initials. That's not a long enough tradition before somebody would do.
This could have been the Joe and Annie show.
I gotta be
with Will,
that's
Bill,
a
and
much
Sonny.
fucking friendlier sounding show.
Why does it sound like we'd be so happy if we had our other names?
There's
Hey,
very
it's Joe and
few
Annie.
depressed Joes, that's for sure. What's wrong, Joe? Oh, life isn't easy for Joe.
When I worked at a summer camp, there was a kid.
Did you molest it?
No, I didn't molest. Don't. It's not molest.
It's true.
I mean, this isn't the time to fucking make amends, dude.
We're confessing shit now?
His name was Bob, and he was 5. And one day I was like, "Hey, do you want me to call you Bobby?" And he goes, "No, it's Bob."
There was a little kid in my neighborhood. He was about 5 years old, and his name was Mikey Joe Fagone. That was like an older dude's name by far, but he fucking lived up to it. He seriously came off like a Mikey Joe Fagone.
There's a dude I went to college with. His name was Tom Tompkins. I don't know why his parents would name fucking their kid Tom. Tom Tompkins.
What about Red Reddington?
Oh, there was a Gabe Asher that got a fucking
Gabe
huge
Asher.
laugh. Growing up, I was a kid.
This fucking camp was important to you, huh?
A lot of summer camp memories, You make some of your best friends.
In high school, I knew a kid who we all called Furs. And so one day somebody said his name and they said Christopher. And I go, oh my God, I never knew that. I always just thought his last name was Furs. And that's why, but I didn't no, his last name is Furs. He's Christopher Furs. Oh my God.
We had a guy in my neighborhood. His last name was Peters. And his nickname was Sucks.
Not good.
And like my mom was like, "Why you guys call him that?" I go, Sucks Peters. You got it now, right? You're following along. Now here's the weird thing. So you would think, life wouldn't follow along like perfectly, but that's the only kid that's ever fucking struck out at kickball that I've ever met in my life. How do you fucking strike out at kickball?
Because he literally sucks Peters.
By the way, consistently struck out at kickball. I mean, it wasn't like a once in a lifetime thing.
I was about to ask, once that could kind of happen.
You have to come up with a rule for strikeouts. Like, there's no rule for strikeouts in kickball. You have to make it on the fly. Here was
the rule. Both teams fell down laughing. The joy this fucking kid brought. And his laugh. I mean, you could be the worst fucking athlete in the world, but you weren't that fucking kid. You were like, he fucking blows.
At that point, I would actually take him to the pediatrician. I'd be like, what's wrong with him? I've never seen anyone with this bad foot-eye coordination.
Yes, he didn't have the eye-foot coordination that every other human has. It's not like we're playing with a golf ball. This is a big fucking kickball. Man, what is a better feeling than a school fucking kickball? They don't even fucking sell it in regular life. You know what I mean?
Sports authorities didn't sell them?
No.
But that was strictly a school thing.
It was strictly a school thing. Now, this was always a thing in my fucking neighborhood. We had those precious kickballs. During recess, we'd kick them up on the roof. Come back that night, climb up the fucking rain spout, throw the fucking balls down. And every once in a while, there'd be extra balls up there.
That's great.
You end up taking like 4 fucking beautiful kickballs back to your hood. Life was good.
That was the only sport I consistently got picked like first or second in because I always had a large foot.
Sure.
So I was just fucking, it was my favorite day in gym class when we were playing kickball.
Oh, good for you. I'm glad the nerds fucking finally had
They would have called you Big Peter.
They would have called you Sucks Assholes.
Going back to the names.
Okay, let's go back, girl. Let's return.
No, a guy I played ball with, his name was David.
David?
David L.
David's? Just David?
David.
What'd you call him? Welcome to the Boomtown?
No, the crazy part is he ended up marrying, I found out later, he married Dee from What's Happening.
You're fucking crazy. You're kidding me. So she's D. David.
Mrs. David.
We should be able to get a fucking write-up in it. What was D from What's Happening? What was her real name?
Danielle Spencer.
Jesus Christ. So you're as black as can be to know that. That's black trivia. That would be fucking hilarious. Dude, let's fucking pitch that. Did you find it?
All right, she married Gary Fields.
Okay, so somebody's a fucking liar.
It's that guy across the fucking board.
Keep going.
Your lying does not fucking work anymore, dude. We got Google to fucking check your ass.
Go where?
To the fucking
page.
lying?
No, I'm not lying.
Is there a Dr. Spencer?
But isn't it should be Dr. David. It's David.
Yeah, they ain't no David
Was
here.
it Spencer?
Remember,
Spencer?
he came back for this lie.
Hold on.
Hold on for what, Earl? It doesn't exist. What are you looking up?
I'm looking up his page.
His page doesn't matter. We went to the celebrity page. He could write whatever bullshit lie he wants to.
Yeah. Do you think Danielle Spencer's just so disgusted by David?
By the way, tell David that your friend fucking Ron married Cheryl Ladd. And they're very happy together.
There she is.
I'm going to have a picture of her on my Facebook. She ain't with him. That's just a fucking picture. It's a promo shot. Hey, there's one born every minute. His name is Earl Douglas.
I worked with a dude who did the same thing. He told me he went to a water park and then goes, I went on this crazy water slide. Just Google's water slide and showed me a picture of one. And I was
That's fucking Earl.
I've seen a fucking
That
water
is Earl
slide.
right
This is
there.
their podcast, Living with Danielle and David.
This is a crazy lie.
Here's her IMDb credits.
Look at it right there. We got a break. Earl's a fucking liar. And pick up some of the shirts, the Bennington shirts. Get it now so you can have it in time for Christmas.
They're available now at ibangshop.com, ibangshop.com for the new Bennington shirt.